Just want to wish those of you a pleasant good afternoon today as we're broadcasting live one more time from the studios of Global 99.5, Cable TV 974. Also, we on Facebook, we on Zoom, we on YouTube, and we on the various media channels today. I wish those of you a pleasant good afternoon. It's once more a blessing in Christ to be alive in the land of the living. He woke us up to see another day. And so for those of you, this is an opportunity to share, invite others to be a part of the program today. We don't have a guest, so I'm going to be your guest today. I'm going to open up the show to a number of persons joining us by Zoom, Facebook, YouTube. My co-host not feeling well today, so she won't be joining me, or maybe she may surprise me, I don't know. But I'm going to open up the show for others to comment, to talk, to share. For those of you listening on radio, Cable TV 974, we have a number of things we want to give away today. We definitely have to give them away today. So I'm going to call on you to maybe WhatsApp me at 433-6917. You'll have to WhatsApp me at 433-6917 if you're on your YouTube or Facebook. I won't have an opportunity to monitor today, but you can WhatsApp me for the answer, 433-6917. We want to give away and thank McDonald's who sponsored us with the recent event we had at the Department of Corrections, formerly known as Her Majesty's Prison. And they gave us a number of lunch vouchers, meal vouchers. So it's just something for you to sit down and have a meal. And then I want to thank the Apostle Dexter Cartwright. He gave me 2 t-shirts. Jesus is the answer. So I want to give them out today. And then I want to thank Mr. Keith Burrows. He gave me some tickets for a concert, the Region Bells. That's the Stubbs family all the way out there from Cat Island. They're having a concert on the 6th of July, 7:30 at Remnant Tabernacle of Praise. So I want to be able to give away one of these tickets today. So we have a trivia. I'm going to ask my brother, Pastor Williams, I'm going to ask Dr. Mark to come up with some trivia. They say not too easy, but not too hard. And persons can WhatsApp the answer. Okay. Those persons tuning in today at the Department of Corrections, we had a completion of a journey program called the Prisoner's Journey Monday Pass. And so these individuals would have qualified for a graduation service. We're hoping to have it next week, Monday. And the program answered 3 questions. It was an 8 Bible study lesson that took them through 3 questions. Who is Jesus? Why did he come? And what is he asking you to do? And so we had about 12 to 14, I believe, persons graduated from that program at maximum security at the prison. And so we have, like I said, we're planning a graduation for next week, Monday. We're hoping to get their families to come and be a part of it once we get the necessary permission. And if we get the permission, I'm going to broadcast it live for you via Facebook. So once again, it's a pleasant Sunday afternoon. I thank all of those persons, those sponsors who was able to help us putting the program off. Coming up now, our next event, the men's group, International Men's Day, us two, the Brotherhood, Prison Fellowship, Bahamas, and a number of other men's group, gang reduction, intervention, prevention. We're planning a back to school program for 1,000 boys. And we're hoping to have it on Windsor Park for August 26th. So we're now soliciting from our sponsors, funds. And if you have contacts, you can solicit some books, pens, pencils. Those of you who are traveling for the summertime, even if it is 5 books, if it is 10 books, contact me at 433-6917. I will pick them up from you, and we'll be able to distribute them. The goal is to distribute primarily, I say this carefully now, 1,000 boys. So we're focusing on our boys, primary school, junior high, and senior high. That's International Men's Day in partnership with us two, GRIP, Prison Fellowship Bahamas, MG Reboit, my co-host, Jackie Gardner, Kendra Bow, Rite of Passage, Dave Williams, Uplifting Men's Ministry. There'll also be the Brotherhood and a number of other, the National Men's Group. So a number of men's group we're seeking to bring together for this program. That's the 26th of August at Windsor Park. I want to thank all of those who helped us in sponsoring the past events: Andrew McFall, DeWitt Williams, Dr. Patrick Paul, Trevor Strawn from the Glass Accessories Warehouse, Robert Archer from Archer's Nursery, Harrison Petty from the Colony Club, Tim Dames from Tim's Air Conditioning, the Chaplaincy Department of Bahamas Department of Corrections, Vaughn Jones from Vaughn Jones Memorial Center, Matthew Sweeting from Commonwealth Funeral Home, National Plumbing, Valentino Gardner from Phoenix Supermarket, Pastor Terrence Forbes from Consumer Choice, Carlos Maki from Money Max, Kenny Fountain from Bahama Breeze Trading Company, Mark Thompson, Disson Realty, Harborside Marina, Ron Fraser from Ron Motors, Bishop Valentino Williams from Life Changes Ministry, Stephen Lindsay from the AutoZone, Harry Fernandez from Fernandez Plumbing, the Bahamas Property Group, Mike Russell and the Roadie for the Super Value gift certificates, Minister Tony Joseph from Tony's Cabinet, McDonald's, who have given us some vouchers that we're going to give away today, Pastor Stephen Ferguson, Battery and Tire Supplies, ARM Supplies with Andrew McFall, Better Living Health Store, Dr. Ida Mehana, Prison Fellowship Bahamas, Quality Home Center, Emmanuel Mental Center, and Dr. Sean Knowles, Sean Pin and Banana Bay, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Fred Mitchell. And so these sponsors made our last event a success as we fed some 300 persons, including at least 200 plus residents at the medium security of the Department of Corrections. That was Saturday before Father's Day, last week Saturday. And we want to thank all of these sponsors who made it possible. Robert Archer from Archer's Nursery. So we want to thank all of them who made it possible, and we're encouraging you next week, on the 26th, as you travel, we're asking you if you can only bring back 5 books, 5 pencils, and 1 bag. We appreciate it. The goal is to provide supplies for 1,000 boys. And so I know you're saying, Dave, what happened to the girls? Yes, we have not forgotten our girls, but we want to make sure we take care of the boys first, okay? So once girls are there, obviously we're not going to leave them out, but we want to be able to supply our boys. As you know, the organization that I'm a part of, we try doing our best to reach men and boys. And so on this program, every Sunday, we have a program, a portion that we will never forget. It's called Moments with Christ. On Transforming Lives, as you know, we recognize that the greatest transformation that can take place in the life of an individual is through Jesus Christ, who will give you and I eternal life. Outside of that, to live this life would be to live in vain. And so as usual, I'm going to ask Dr. Leslie McMillan, all the way down in South Florida, to share with us 5 minutes, Moments with Christ. Welcome, Dr. McMillan. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Dave, and your team, your brother, your associate pastor. And I understand that your assistant is not well today, but I'm happy to be here with you. And it's a privilege and honor always to fulfill this hour. Like you, I believe that this is very important. And I can list the many things that make the uplifting and presentation of Jesus Christ, the person, as the most important thing. And for me, especially at a time like this, when so many persons are falling asleep. We heard of the 5 gentlemen who lost their lives searching for the Titanic ship. We hear about those who lose their lives because of violence, others because of natural causes. So people are dying every day. What does that mean for this moment? It means that by faith in Christ Jesus, when one loses his life on earth, it is like a sleep when that person is connected to Christ by faith. And that makes this relationship of vital importance. It's more important than our profession, more important than our temporal goods, how rich we may be. It's more important than our best friends and any connections that we may have, because death as an act vanishes and takes away all things like that. But in Christ, there is only a pause, for he promises us to be alive again and to enjoy pleasures and riches and peace and glory with him in the future. So the purpose of this minute is to ask persons who are now on and connected to review your faith relationship with Christ. How do you see him? Is he the first and only thing in your life? Is he the center of your life? And when he is, eternal life is secured, the future is certain, and he takes care of the present. So that's the value. I ask you to do that as we review the subject this afternoon. Whatever we may hear, run it by and see it through a faith, close relationship with Jesus Christ. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mark. That's so powerful, because in my mind, I thought, what was it like for those persons in that ship when they saw the first person died? I'm sure, I don't know, I shouldn't say that all might not have died the same time, but when they saw the last breath leave from that person, in the first person on that ship, I wonder what was it like. But I agree with you. I endorse what you say, that in this life, there's nothing more important than having that relationship with Jesus Christ. Thank you, those of you tuning in with us live now. We have another topic, and I'm going to invite you to share. I'll start off. I don't want to do all the talking, so I'm going to open up for persons, including Dr. Mark, if you wish to come in again, my brother, Pastor Williams, and others of you, as we continue to celebrate our fathers. And then next week, as part of the 50th anniversary, we will go into talking about the 50th anniversary and independence. That'll be the focus during the month of July. But today, as I conclude, talking about fathers, growing up without a father, how to be a good father. Even though you may not have had, I know my brother and we can testify we did not grow up with a father in the home. There are others I know. Shelton has a story to share. I don't know about you, Keith, but I don't know about you, Pat, but I'm inviting others. If you're listening on the radio, on Facebook, also on the YouTube channel, Transforming Lives, you can simply WhatsApp me at 433-6917, and I can share your comments. I don't have to call your name. As we talk about what was it like, how to be a good father, in the sense, even though you did not grow up without a father, what were the characteristics? Where did you get them from? And so it's going to be open. And I want to also say I have to give away at least 2 or 3 of these McDonald's vouchers. I also want to give away one of these T-shirts. I thank Apostle Dexter Cartwright for a shirt so appropriately named. So we have to give one of these away. Jesus is the answer. We have to give one of them away. And then Pete Burrows donated some tickets for the concert. And so we want to also give one of these tickets away today. Of course, we're asking whoever you are, we want to give you one gift. So if you win, leave another gift for somebody. The Honorable Regent Bell's 75th anniversary concert, featuring Shabak, the Raming Brothers, Terry Walters, and the New Dynamic Features. It's the 6th of July at 7:30. And so we want to give them away. So I'll come in at some time with some trivia to maybe Keith, you might get think of something. Shelton, you might get think of something. Pat, you might get think of something. I don't know. Just so we could give away these things. So that's one T-shirt, one ticket, and at least about maybe 2 or 3 of the McDonald's vouchers. Just give them away. You know, simple stuff. They ain't gonna be that easy and they ain't gonna be hard. We just want to give them away, okay? So today we're talking about growing up without fathers, okay? And for myself, my brother was my technician. We grew up in a home without a father. We had our challenges, but the one good thing is that our mother was firm, okay? She was very firm, and she was the one who would beat us. She was the one who would, I know beat no sound too good a word now. She would discipline us. She was the one who ensured that, you know, we went to school, when we said we was going to the library, you know, all of these little things. And yet we made it. And so the question is, we didn't have a father for model, but we look to our own Heavenly Father, and that's God through his son, Jesus Christ, who guided and directed us, and who placed mentors and others whom we could have looked to as young boys growing up. And they were able to help shape us and mold us in becoming the fathers that we are today for our children. I'm speaking for me and for my brother, but when my brother ready, he can unmute the mic and speak for himself. But again, like I say, I know I don't want to dominate the conversation. So Apples, I can call on you first. I know you shared your story about growing up without a father. And so what has helped you in your own life? And then we're going to give others a chance to talk and to share. Apples, you still there?
Yes. Good day, Bahamas. Good day, Global. And good day, Brother Dave Williamson. Thank you
Good day.
for having me. And it's an honor to be here today. You know, for me, I didn't have the privilege, I call it a privilege for many of those who have their fathers. It was a privilege, you know, it's a privilege to have a father in your life. But I didn't have that experience. And so for me growing up, I grew up without a father, and it was a painful experience as a child. And I think many of the times you see kids them being quiet and they're crying and they're a little angry. That's because they are missing something. As a teenager, it brought me to the angry point. And that's why if you were to do the research on many of the young teenage boys inside school who are giving the school problems, you would, the guidance counselor and the principal within themselves would tell you most of those boys do not have a father in their home. I went on to a life joining the gang and being involved inside crime, and it almost took my life. I met plenty of my friends in the gang life who had the same similar problems, the lack of not having their father. And I'm grateful to God for what I would consider volunteer, God-sent mentors who came into my life. Persons like the late David Mark Ford from Elizabeth Estates, former, who was a police officer, who had the Sabertooth Tigers program, and invite me in his home and share love to me. Then I met Shelton Benedy, who now resides in Canada, who I consider now my father, who took me like a son who taught me spiritual empowerment and also helped me in becoming a businessman. Today, I have a business where I do construction, and he's taught me the right way of going about it, registering my business and structuring it properly. I've been in business now for over 20 years. And I thank God for allowing him to come into my life. And it helped me because today I'm a father. And because of his example and because of him pouring into my life, I do not want to be nothing like the man who just was a sperm donor to me. I want to be like Shelton Beneby, who was a father, mentor, love, and give me good guidance. And so for me, I made a commitment to be the best father I can be to my children.
Okay, Apple, so thank you. Just save the rest for later as I try to get more. And let me go to my brother, Pastor Williams. Me and you, we grew up without a father in the home. What led you? What inspired you? What motivates you? What was it like for you growing up without a father?
Okay, good evening, everyone. If I seem a little distracted, bear with me. I'm driving on my way to a function. It was a unique experience in that I guess the most contact I probably had with my father was when I was learning, or I was supposed to be learning a trade. I did more manual labor than anything else in radio and TV repair. And many evenings on the way home, I would stop by the little blue store on Hospital Lane. Don't remember the lady's name. He would buy me an ice cream and something, and then I would walk the rest of the way home. I never realized the impact that it would have on me, not having a father around like that. I knew where he lived, go around there, not often. Every now and then he might come by us, sit and talk for a couple of minutes, but the greatest impact I realized it had on me was when he actually passed. I told someone I lost the father I always wanted but never had. And that stuck with me for like a year easily. I was in Jamaica at the time when he passed. And for a year, I would take my guitar, which I never learned to play, but I purchased a guitar anyway, used guitar. I would go below the cafeteria in the back in West Indies College at the time, now Northern Caribbean University. And I would just strum the same chord, starting with the bass and going to the treble, probably for an hour. I may try do a little variation. Like I said, never learned to play the guitar, but that was soothing. And look over at the lights in the parish of Manchester. And I did that for a year. I did not know at the time, but I was in the process of grieving. And 1 year to the day after he passed, I had a dream. And someone said, your grandfather's here to see you. Say he's in the cafeteria. I said, I don't have a grandfather, but I went anyway. And I went into the cafeteria and there was my father. And shortly afterwards, I woke up from this dream. And that was when it occurred to me that I had been in the process of grief, or maybe mourning, whichever is the correct term, for an entire year without recognizing it. And to show you the impact that it had on it, I relived in my mind, sometimes afterward, shortly thereafterwards, the whole process that I had gone through when he passed. And when I was on my way back to Kingston after the funeral was that Sunday. I went back to Jamaica that Monday. And on the way to Jamaica, I developed, as I was on the way back to Mandeville from Kingston, I developed a cough, dry cough. My roommates told me the next morning. I got in Monday night, late Monday night. They thought my chest was going to break. All the time I'm in grief. So after the funeral, actually at the funeral, I remember, it may have been others, but I remember two people were really crying. Myself and his niece, who I saw for the first time. I only knew it was his niece because she just kept saying, uncle, uncle, uncle. First and last time I remember seeing the lady. But after the funeral, I went home in my bed, buried my face in a pillow, and sobbed for like about 2 hours. I'm just showing you the impact when I said I lost what I wanted but never had. And I sobbed for like 2 hours nonstop. The year of the anniversary of his death, I relived all of that. And I developed the same cough that I had, which I developed on the way from Nassau back to Jamaica after the funeral. And I learned a couple of things from that. One, the importance that, in this case, a father can play in the life of an individual. I tell young women, or women with children, young children, boys in particular, I said, look here, when these boys reach a certain age, their father's not in their life, you need to find someone who will be a father for them. Whether an uncle, a brother, a role model, someone. I say, because they're looking for pack leader, I say, you're not it. They don't see you as the leader of the pack. You're not a male. You don't think like a male. You don't understand how males think like that. And it shows you the role that a father can have in the life of a young man in particular. He needs to be there to join in, do things, show things, explain, discuss things, to do things together. That is important. And I realized afterwards that that was missing from my life. But like Dave says, we had a mother who was firm and she did the best that she could with what she had, but I still realize I've made mistakes because I didn't have anyone to guide me with my children. I've made some mistakes which I wish I could have corrected when I look back now. That some things I did, I say, something, I should have done that differently. But I didn't have that guidance. I had what helped me. I had men in the church whom I associated with. The best man at my wedding, Tyrone Paul, Brian Evans, Stephen Knowles, Roger Forbes, and some of the other men, late Bernal Butler and others, who I could look to, who tried to give me tips and pointers along the way. Some of the stuff I would have learned in college as a part of my study, overall discussion, talk. I was in a Sabbath school class where most of the people were about 5 or 7 years my senior. So they also helped to mold and shape me in that aspect there. So I would say it's something that is important. It's something that is necessary for the individual. And like I say, for those who don't have fathers in their life, I would encourage them to find someone whom they can pattern after, or several persons maybe who can guide them in walking in the right path. What does it mean to be a man? What decisions should you take? How should you relate to women? How should you conduct yourself, etc., etc.? I will encourage them to take that path there, find individuals. And if you know of young men who don't have a father figure in their life, I will encourage you to adopt them, to mentor them, take them to work with you for the summer, let them be with you, hang out together, whatever way that you can influence them, and just think to be there, someone they can ask questions of. They can bounce things off you. You can talk with them about life, their education, what they plan to do in life. You can expose them to your trade, your line of business. Just be there as an influence, a positive influence in their life, so that we can make a difference. And even not just with men, even with girls, how many girls you find are going in from one bad relationship to the next one because they're trying to find someone to fulfill the void of a father in their life. They didn't have a father to guide them. And so they're getting in relationships with these men because without knowing it, they may be actually trying to, use this guy as someone to fill that void that daddy didn't fill. But they don't even know they're doing that. So they just bounce from one to the other, to the other, to the other. Guys get involved with gangs and stuff. Again, they need the pack leader. So that's one of the things I'm going to suggest. And where I see the importance of a role of a father in the life of an individual. I know we're focusing on boys, but I would say also with girls, they need to know what it is for a man to hug them, to tell them they're beautiful, that they love them. Because if they don't have that sort of thing, and sometimes they resist, and you still got to find a way to let them know, text them or send them a WhatsApp note or something. The first guy that comes along and tells it to them, they get swing. And so they also need that father figure in their life. And I'll stop there, Dave. Turn it back to you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So today, folks, you're listening to Transforming Lives, Global 99.5, Cable TV 974, Facebook, Zoom, YouTube. I can't monitor those who are on YouTube, and thank you for joining us on YouTube last week and on Facebook, because only me one. But we're talking today about fathers, the absence of father, and we want to share the positive things, how you made it. If there's anybody else, you want to unmute your mic and share while you're doing that. I want to throw out my first trivia, and you can WhatsApp me at 433-6917 now. You can't call me. 433-6917. I have a t-shirt, nice t-shirt, and on it says, Jesus is the answer. You can WhatsApp me the answer to this question I'm about to give you, and this t-shirt is yours. Tell me the year that the country gained independence. Tell me the first prime minister or premier of the Bahamas, and how many years we are celebrating independence this year. Three-part question. You must get the three answers right, and the t-shirt is yours. The year that this country gained independence, the name of the first premier or prime minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and the year that we are celebrating anniversary of independence. 433-6917. WhatsApp me right now. First person, t-shirt is yours. Beautiful white t-shirt. On the front of it says, Jesus is the answer. Compliments of Apostle Dexter Cartwright. And so today, while I'm checking my text to see who the first person, we also want to focus on positive things that fathers are doing. There's so many positive fathers. Society tends to focus on a lot of negative things, but there are positive things that we're focusing on. So many good men, had their challenges, did not grow up without a father. And we agree, when we look at it, that in the prison, like I said, 80% of the, at one time in Marx, 80% of the men, actually 80 of them, because it's about 101 or 102, said they did not grow up without a father. In the boys' school, so a program I did, there was 60% of those asked the same, raised their hand. And so let's talk about it. I see my good friend Denver Pratt. You shared your experience. So get ready to unmute your mic as we talk about growing up without a father and being a positive role model. How you made it, and likewise with your own family. And I'm going to throw the trivia again one more time. I see somebody already called me, but I'm saying you can't call me. I'm in the studios as we focus on the question. So then we get ready and let you know right now. Give us the year the country gained independence, how many years we're celebrating independence, and the name of the first prime minister or premier of the country, and that t-shirt is yours. Compliments of Apostle Dexter Cartwright. Jesus is the answer. Denver Pratt, I heard your story, growing up without a father, and share a little of it, and then let's talk about where you gain your attributes that made you the father you are today. Go ahead, Denver.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good evening, I can hear you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Dave. Good afternoon to your listening audience. Very timely topic, speaking about growing up without a father. For me, growing up without a father, it was sort of not good, because in my neighborhood, all of my friends, or most of my friends, had their fathers and their mothers. So when time to go home, and they will go home with their fathers and mothers. For me, my father was absent. And for me, I know something was missing. He was absent for almost about 20 years plus in my life, and he wasn't there. And like someone said, that a boy needs to have his father in his life. We thank God for the females, and they did a wonderful job. My mother did a wonderful job with 10 of us and tried to raise, but there was something that was missing. And my father wasn't there. And I could remember growing up and finding out that he left and he moved and he had another family. He got married and he had another family. And as a young boy, it did something to me. I became very angry because I was asking the question, why is he not there? And I didn't hear from him. Christmas will pass, birthdays will pass, never hear from him. I grew angry, and until I remember one time, my friends and I, we were in the downtown area. I think we went into a store to purchase a shirt, and this is the day before Father's Day, and the sales lady looked at me and she said, "Oh, this is a nice shirt for your father. Why don't you buy this?" And when she said that, it struck a chord with me. And I told her, I say the only thing I have for him, probably on Father's Day, it was something no good. So she looked at me with a look the same. That is that bad. So it built up anger in me, and for many years, I had to live without a father in the home. My brothers and sisters, especially my brothers, did all that they can to be, I guess you could say, a father figure, but still something in my life was missing. And so I want to say that the fathers are very important in our kids' life, and not until I was locked up in prison that I reached out to my father and wrote him a letter. And in that letter was that this is your son. I'm locked up for the mistakes, some choices that I made. And the reason I'm writing you is because I'm saved. And I want you to know that it doesn't matter what you did or did not do. I want to forgive you. And the only way I had to forgive him was that a relationship with Christ in my life. So I shared that with him, and he wrote me back. And when I came home, I went where he was, and I sit down with him and I embrace him and I looked him in the face and told him that I forgive you, I love you. And there was a father-son relationship was beginning back. The only thing that done that was God. And so now we are like almost two peas in a pot with a father and relationship. But um, to sum it up, Dave, fathers are very important in a child life. We need not only the mothers, but we need the fathers also.
Okay, thank you very much, Denver. So you heard from myself, you heard from my brother, Pastor Williams, you heard from Apple Shelton Burroughs, you heard from Denver, that in spite you may not have grown up without a father, all is not lost. And that one thing, or one key thing you would notice among all of us, we recognize that is out of the relationship with Christ. That's where the transformation took place, and all of us, the four of us as men, sharing our experience as to the father that we are today. And so I just want to open it up. We already have a winner for the trivia. The trivia was to name the year that the country gained independence, the premier or the prime minister, the first one in the Bahamas, and what year we're celebrating. We know 50th anniversary on Linden, Finland. And so we want to congratulate that winner, Pat Wallace. Congratulate her. She's the winner of the t-shirt. Okay. And I also have the ticket I want to give away. And I got some vouchers from McDonald's that I want to give away with some simple questions. And but today, as you're listening on Global 99.5, Cable TV 974, Transforming Lives, Jackie and Dave, Jackie not here, but I'm sure she's probably, hopefully she's listening in. As we talk, celebrate our father, there's so many positive things that are happening, you know. Society tends to talk a lot of negative about fathers, about men. But I'm saying to you, there are so many good men. I don't use the term few. No, there are many men. We may not have grown up without fathers, but when we look at our lives today, and we see so much wonderful things came out from us as fathers. Dr. Matt, I know you're still there. Share with us some of the other attributes as fathers. I know you talked about growing up with your father in your life, but share with us some of the other attributes as a father figure. Okay, perhaps it's not there. Anytime you're able to, you can just unmute the mic and come in. And yes, and so today we ought to celebrate fathers, we ought to honor our men. We hear a lot of negative things saying about men. There's a term that is used about men. I don't use it, but I'm going to use it only for now. Real men. What? And I always wonder, what do you mean by real men? It's not a competition, but we don't hear the term used with women, real women, no matter how bad a female is. So why do we have to use that term with men as if though some men are false? And so you may say, well, Dave, what do you use? And so for me, I use the term responsible and irresponsible men, not real or false, because we all as humans, we are real. We are created in the image of Christ. And so when I come across men, when I encounter men who are irresponsible, then that's a different conversation we have. First, sharing with them that Christ can transform, can change, and empower us to become the person that we would want to be. Okay, so it has to start from there. And a classic example is myself, my brother. You heard Apples and you heard Denver. And I'm sure there are others you're listening in on radio or Cable TV 974, wherever you are. I'm sure that there are others who are able to share that, yes, they grew up without a father, but as a result of their relationship with Christ, he made a difference. But I just want to open it up if there are others who want to share. Even though you might have committed in the past, you can still open up the mic and share your experience as a father, some of the positive attributes, some of the things you have done, because this is what I want us to do, celebrate our men, you know. I don't want to always hear the negative about men, because there are many men who've done a lot of positive things. And so you can share if you want the Zoom. If not, sorry, I can't monitor the YouTube and the Facebook. You can WhatsApp me 433-6917. Because when I look around and I see so many men involving their children, sports, school, academics, graduation. I recall at CC Sweeting graduation, a young lady, she called her father's name and, you know, and then she just break out in tears and he celebrated with her, you know, and I said, wow, these are the things that ought to be highlighted. Whereas the media generally tend to highlight the negative. And I said, we ought to celebrate the men, celebrate some of the positive attributes. There's so many positive things happening with men. But unless as the host, I appear to dominate it, anybody else want to share some of the things? In the meanwhile, we need to get these McDonald's vouchers out. Maybe you might need to text me something simple, not so difficult. I got to call on my friends, Denver Apples. So we could give away Dr. Mark if you're there. Anybody else who on the Zoom, text me something that we can put out there on the airwaves and have persons WhatsApp me back to give away. I have at least 3 of these McDonald's vouchers that I want to give away. You know, if you leave it up to my son, he'll take them all. But on a serious note, so text me something now. Send it to me in the Zoom link or whatever. Don't send the answer, just something simple that I could put out and let persons text it to me for a McDonald's voucher. It could be related to independence, you know, if good, we celebrate the country's 50th anniversary. Yeah, just text me something simple and let's get these McDonald's vouchers. I have at least 3 to give out. So send it to me right now and I'll ask him to WhatsApp it to me on my WhatsApp number 433-6917. Okay, so folks listening in, you are a regular listener to this program. WhatsApp me right now on 433-6917 and tell me my codes for the radio program Transforming Lives. That's how simple it is. And the McDonald's voucher is yours. What right now? Don't call me, please. 433-6917. If you're a regular listener to this program, WhatsApp me. And somebody who have not won a gift before now, I'd rather you tell somebody else who have not won one and let them WhatsApp me. 433-6917. Give me the name of the cause of my program, of this program, Transforming Lives. WhatsApp it to me right now, 433-6917. And you get to go to McDonald's and enjoy this voucher that McDonald's gave me, 433-6917. That's one. That's one. Since nobody giving me none, I guess I gotta throw them out. Okay, that's one. Okay, I'm trying to think of another one. So I could give away these McDonald's voucher. Today, as we talk about fathers, we're celebrating fathers. A very short program today. We know that only on for an hour. I'm still looking to see for that person who can WhatsApp me the name of my course on the program Transforming Lives, and you get that a meal from McDonald's, courtesy of McDonald's. Okay, that's one. I just need to find 2 others just to get rid of this, and then I have the ticket for the Region Bells concert. I want to give that out today too. Okay, so that's one. I don't see no text yet. I checking my phone. Good. Okay, 433-6917. Okay, good. I don't see that. Someone said to me, I'm going to read this in the chat. My dad was never around. He had over 20 children. How I was able to forgive was that my grandmother kept me in church, and God kept me even when my father was sick. I went and visited him. To this individual, I don't know if you're male or female. If you're male, I would want you to maybe text back to us and share with us, how did you make it as a father? If you're a male, if you're a female, then I guess share with us if there was some father figures. And so 433-6917, still waiting on another person to WhatsApp me. Okay, somebody WhatsApp me and I see that, but they have won that ticket before, so okay.
All right,
okay,
Dave.
Go ahead.
Let me come in with my contribution.
Yes.
My contribution is a little different.
Yes.
I am the son of an immigrant Bahamian who came to the Bahamas and met my mother.
Yes.
From Long Key, and they established the home from which I came. And fortunately, I came from a home where the father was always present.
Okay.
And from the day he met my mother, they went to church together.
Yes.
They had an invitation and they accepted the truth together. They were married in the same church.
Yes.
And we were born there. And
yes.
He was always at home. Meaning that He was not an absent father, not by a long shot.
Okay.
And he had 5 boys. And those boys, like I was brought up in a very Christian home. I never saw my father hit or abuse my mother. They worked together like peas in a pod. And that's the example that I got. And I can boast the same. I am with the mother of my children for 62 years, and all has been well.
Yes,
and
sir.
So I rejoice for that opportunity, and I just pray that I can pass it on as long as I am alive. Hence my question that I sent, that
Yes,
you
sir.
can ask. And you
Okay.
remember, I noticed, since this is the 50th, immigrant fathers, watch this, and you can check this. Immigrant fathers in the Bahamas, those who came from different places. You know, we had a corps of policemen. Our policemen used to come from another Caribbean country,
That's
and
correct.
so forth. So in my mind, I separate the immigrant father and the native Bahamian father.
Right.
And the reason why I do that, this could be open for discussion. Like in the case of my father, being an immigrant father, right? He's overwhelmed by being with a Bahamian lady. He didn't run around. There were no stray shots. There were no extra homes. He was just happy and rejoicing in the home that he found in the beautiful Bahamas. And I am the product of that. And if you notice the question that was sent, it has made an impact on this country in another way. And so there are some fathers who fulfill the bill. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for that positive contribution, and that's what I want to hear, right? Because I keep saying to you, all is not lost, and there are positive contributions fathers has made. 50, 100 years from now, when the story is written, I like Dr. Macmillan would like it to be said of myself also, and I'm sure Denver and Apples and my brother and many others. We would like to hear that there are positive things, there are positive fathers who made a difference. And so here's our next trivia. What's up to me? The father of the first prime minister was an immigrant father. Where was he from? The father of the first prime minister, talking about in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, was an immigrant father. Where was he from? What's up as the answer? 433-6917. The father of the first prime minister, Sir Lyndon Pinlin, was an immigrant father. Where was he from? And maybe for the next week, when we start with the independence, we're going to call on Dr. Mark and others to share some independence questions for us, to teach us some history. And so that's the question they call it on the table right now. Okay, tell us the father of the first prime minister, where was he from? Okay, where was he from? 433-6917, okay? 433-6917. Let us know. Okay. All right, we're waiting on that answer. Okay. Somebody gave an answer, but that person already win, so we definitely don't want to give it to them. We want somebody else to win it. Okay, so we're waiting on that person now. 433-6917. As we talk about fathers, many good things happening with fathers today, in spite of the fact that your father was not in your life. You grew up without a father, but you yourself turned out to be a father, someone whom you can be, society, life can be proud of. Somebody else is coming in right now? I thought I heard somebody. Yeah, so let us know. The father of the nation, we call it, Sir Lyndon Pinlin. Where was this father from? Somebody gave me what I believe is the answer, but if that's the person they didn't win before, so I gotta give it to somebody else. 433-6917. 433-6917. And so, folks, as we getting ready to end the program today, we won't be on longer than usual today. As we celebrating our fathers on this month of June, you know, want to acknowledge that there are many good men, there are many fathers who, in spite of the challenges, in spite of the situation and the circumstances that happen in their life, they still turned out to be excellent fathers. Okay? On Transforming Lives, which is on Global 99.5, we on every Sunday as we seek to share information about the transformation, the change of life. This week, okay, Dr. Macmillan, someone put in the chat, is he from Jamaica? Are they correct, Dr. Macmillan? Dr. Mark?
That is correct. That is
Okay,
correct.
so
Now let me give you the history.
go
You
ahead.
need to get the history because maybe next week we can look into this even further as we
Yes.
near the 50th independence. The Bahamas was a part of the Commonwealth, the British Commonwealth, which
Yes.
meant that citizens or persons born in Barbados, Trinidad, Jamaica, and
Yes.
other British colonies, they were privileged to go from island to island without any problems,
Yes.
as long as they were a part of a British colony.
Yes.
So although we may call them immigrants, they were not immigrants like the Haitians may be in the Bahamas now, where you need permit, you need to be conscious of your status. That was not the case. And as I said before, we had many of our police force came
Yes.
from Trinidad, Barbados, and I don't know whether we had any real Jamaicans that came over, but that was standard, so to speak, being a part of the British Commonwealth.
Yes.
And I remember when the change was made in the Bahamas, and my father had to get his Bahamian passport, or he had to get Bahamian status, when the British Commonwealth started to minimize and give independence to countries. But many of our families in the Bahamas have come, or the fathers have been immigrant fathers, as I'm calling them, but not in the sense of status. They came from British colonies, Barbados, Trinidad, Jamaica, and that's correct. Lyndon Findling's father was parallel with my father from Jamaica.
Yes.
And they held firm. They were strong persons with family, education, and so forth. And you'll see that that has come through over the years. And it is something for somebody to check on. The result of this kind of family and fatherhood and its impression on the Bahamas.
Dr. Mark, thanks. Now you know what you course me gotta do now? I gotta let you come on next week to share more history. So for next week about independence, how it started, and some of the information. Give us some history. So that's okay with you?
I will be very glad to, because I think it's vital.
Yes, sir.
It is vital because, well, look at my brother, right? My oldest brother, he was in the government. And all my brothers after that, they have maintained that same type of family and fatherhood that our father set for us.
Yes.
And I know a little bit about the Pindling home. I mean, if you give me the chance next week, I will tell you. And now I hope nobody will, someone can come up with other good examples, I'm sure. But you will find that many of the homes and outstanding persons have come out of what we term today immigrant. They were not born in Nassau, let's say. They were born in Trinidad, Barbados, and I know many persons
Doc, just because the time, let me just come off the radio and we can continue afterwards, okay?
No problem.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you. You got some history. We'll continue on the Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube, but we know that Dr. Macmillan will be my guest next Sunday. We're going to hear some history of the Bahamas, talking about 1973. He's going to take us back. You've been listening to the program Transforming Lives on Global 99.5, Cable TV 974. I'm Dave Williams, along with my co-host Jackie Gardner. We here every Sunday. We end the program the way we always end, by reminding you that there's nothing more important than having a relationship with Christ. And on this program, we recognize that that relationship comes out of Christ, not a church, nor my church, your denomination, my denomination. We're talking about a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, who alone gives you and I eternal life. Dave Williams, Jackie Gardner, Transforming Lives, Global 99.5, encouraging you to have a wonderful Sunday afternoon. So, Dr. Mark, what we got to do then? We definitely now,